The washing machine hummed its familiar rhythm, a sound Linda had heard so many thousands of times it had become part of the house's heartbeat. She stood at the folding table, smoothing wrinkles from a pale blue sheet still warm from the dryer, breathing in that clean cotton smell that never got old. Tuesday afternoon, 2:30, the time slot she'd claimed for herself years ago when the kids were small and naps created little pockets of peace. The laundry room sat at the back of the house, just off the kitchen, small and square, with a window overlooking the backyard. Cabinets lined one wall, white paint chipped at the corners from decades of use. A wooden shelf ran along another wall, the one her husband Tom had installed when they first moved in, back when their daughter Emma was still in diapers. That shelf had held detergent and fabric softener for years. These days, it held something else entirely, though Linda hadn't quite figured out when the shift happened. She pulled another sheet from the basket, shaking it out with a practiced snap. Outside the window, the maple tree swayed gently, leaves just starting to hint at autumn gold. School buses would arrive soon, filling the quiet street with voices and slamming doors. But for now, the house belonged to her and the steady tumble of the dryer. The door creaked open behind her. Linda glanced over her shoulder. Her son Marcus stood in the doorway, still in his work shirt, tie loosened around his neck. 26 years old and living in the basement apartment. While he saved for a house, her youngest had inherited her late hours and her habit of thinking too much. He leaned against the doorframe. "Just wanted to say hey." "Hey yourself," Linda replied, folding the sheet into neat thirds. "You're home early." Marcus moved into the room, reaching past her for the stack of clean towels. Left the site early. Concrete pour got delayed. He busied himself with a towel, folding it the way she'd taught him when he was 12. Corners matched perfectly. They worked in comfortable silence for a moment, the dryer timer ticking down its final minutes. "Mom," Marcus started, then stopped. He refolded the same towel. "I've been thinking about making an offer on that house over on Birch Street." Linda's hands paused on a pillowcase. "The blue one with the crooked porch?" "That's the one," he admitted. "I know it needs work." She resumed folding, keeping her voice light. "It needs a lot of work, honey." "I know," he muttered, "but I can do most of it myself. Save money that way." Linda heard what he wasn't saying, the uncertainty threading through his words. She'd learned over the years that her kids rarely came to the laundry room for laundry. They came because something weighed on them, and somehow this small, cluttered space, with its detergent smell and warm air, made the hard things easier to say. She set down the pillowcase. "Sounds like you're trying to talk yourself into it." Marcus exhaled slowly. "Maybe I'm trying to talk myself out of being scared." There it was. The real conversation. Linda turned to face him fully. "Being scared of a big purchase doesn't mean you're not ready for it. What if I mess it up? What if I can't handle the mortgage and the repairs and everything else?" She reached out, touching his arm briefly. "Then you'll figure it out. Same way everyone does." Marcus met her eyes, and she saw her son at 6 years old, afraid to jump off the diving board. At 16, nervous before his driving test. Some fears you grew out of. Some you just learned to carry better. He nodded slowly, setting the towel on the growing pile. "Thanks, Mom." "Anytime," she offered. After he left, Linda noticed something on the shelf. A business card, the real estate agent's number scrawled on the back in Marcus's handwriting. Next to it, he'd drawn a small smiley face. She smiled, leaving the card where it sat. The dryer buzzed. Linda transferred the warm load to her basket, sorted through the tangle of socks and shirts. Her daughter Emma's running clothes, her husband's work polos, Marcus's t-shirts. A whole family in cotton and polyester. She was matching socks when Emma appeared, yoga mat tucked under one arm, water bottle in hand. Her daughter moved with the purposeful energy of someone perpetually between appointments, teaching fitness classes and training clients from dawn until dark. Emma set her mat against the wall. Got a minute? Linda gestured at the overflowing basket. I've got exactly 1 load's worth of minutes. Her daughter laughed, but it came out thin. She pulled herself up to sit on the washing machine, legs dangling. Jason wants to move to Colorado. Linda's hands stilled on a pair of matched socks. Jason, Emma's boyfriend of 3 years. Colorado, 2,000 miles away. For his job? Linda asked carefully. Emma nodded, picking at the label on her water bottle. Amazing opportunity. He'd be regional manager, big salary bump, the whole thing. The words hung in the small room. Linda resumed sorting, giving Emma space to find what came next. He asked me to come with him, Emma continued quietly. Wants us to get married first. Linda looked up at her daughter's face, seeing the storm of emotions there. And I don't know, Emma whispered. I love him. I really do. But my whole life is here. My classes, my clients, my gym, you guys, Marcus, everything. She hopped down from the washer, pacing the small space. 3 steps to the window, 3 steps back. Is it crazy to give up a good relationship because I don't want to leave my laundry room? Linda almost laughed, but caught herself. This was real fear, real loss, no matter how it got phrased. You're not afraid of leaving the laundry room, Linda suggested gently. You're afraid of leaving yourself behind. Emma stopped pacing. What do you mean? Linda set down the socks. You've built something here, honey. A business, a community, a life that fits you. That's not small. That's not nothing. But what if I'm just being selfish? Emma's voice cracked slightly. What if I'm letting fear keep me from something good? The question settled between them, heavy and honest. Linda moved closer to her daughter. Can I tell you something? When your dad got offered that job in Arizona, right after you were born, I said no. Didn't even discuss it. Emma's eyes widened. I never knew that. He would have made twice his salary, Linda continued. Beautiful house, sunshine year-round. But my mom was here, my sisters, my whole support system, and I was terrified of being alone with a newborn in a strange place. Was Dad mad? Linda shook her head. He understood. Some decisions aren't about logic or opportunity. They're about knowing yourself well enough to protect what matters. Emma was quiet for a long moment. Did you ever regret it? Not once, Linda breathed. We built a different kind of good life. Right here. Her daughter nodded slowly, something loosening in her shoulders. Thanks, Mom. After Emma left, Linda found a folded sticky note on the shelf. Staying put for now, written in Emma's neat handwriting, a tiny heart drawn underneath. The afternoon faded into evening. Linda finished the laundry, started dinner prep, listened to Tom arrive home from work. The usual rhythm of a Tuesday, ordinary and precious in equal measure. She was back in the laundry room after dinner, sorting a final load, when Tom wandered in. He settled into the old chair in the corner, the one with the broken spring they kept meaning to replace. Long day? Linda asked. Tom rubbed his face. Board meeting ran late. Budget cuts coming. They're talking about early retirement packages. Linda stopped folding. For you? Could be, he admitted. I'd be eligible. Just barely. They'd talked about retirement in abstract terms, someday plans and vague dreams, but this was concrete, immediate, real. What do you want to do? Linda asked. Tom was quiet, watching her fold. I don't know. Part of me thinks it's time. We could travel, take it easy, see the grandkids more when Emma and Marcus have them. And the other part? Linda prompted gently. Thinks I'm not ready to be done yet, he confessed. Thinks I still have good work left in me. Linda moved to sit on the arm of his chair. So you're torn. He reached up, covering her hand with his. Completely torn. She leaned against him slightly. You know what I think? I think you don't have to decide tonight, or even this month. You can sit with it. What if they need an answer soon? Then you'll have one, Linda replied, but you don't have to rush yourself into certainty before you're ready. Tom squeezed her hand. How'd you get so wise? Years of practice, she murmured, and a really good laundry room. He laughed, the sound loosening something in the air. She kissed the top of his head, stood, returned to her folding. Tom sat quietly for a few more minutes, then rose, pressing a kiss to her temple before heading back to the living room. Linda finished the last towel, stacked everything in neat piles. As she gathered the sorted clothes to deliver them to their proper rooms, she glanced at the shelf. 3 items now. Marcus's business card with its hopeful smiley face, Emma's sticky note with its tiny heart, and something new, a small slip of paper in Tom's handwriting. Not rushing, it read, taking my time. She stood in the quiet room, arms full of clean laundry, and felt something shift in her chest. For years, she'd folded clothes in this room, an endless cycle of washing and drying and folding and putting away. She'd thought of it as a chore, something to get through. But somehow, without her quite noticing when it happened, this small room had become something else. A place where her family brought their fears and their hopes, where they worked through decisions in the safety of her presence and the rhythm of ordinary tasks. They didn't come to her in the living room for these conversations, or across the dinner table. They came here, to this cluttered space that smelled like fabric softener and possibility. Linda looked at the shelf again, at the small collection of confessions and choices. She thought about leaving them there, creating a little archive of family courage. Then she smiled and carefully gathered them up instead, tucking them into her pocket. These moments weren't meant to be preserved like artifacts. They were meant to be honored and then released, making room for whatever came next. Tomorrow or next week, there would be more conversations, more fears, voiced and choices made. The laundry room would be here, and so would she, folding clothes and holding space for the people she loved most. She switched off the light, the shelf empty and waiting. Outside the window, the maple tree whispered in the evening breeze. Somewhere in the house, the television murmured. Tom called out, asking if she wanted tea. Marcus's music thumped softly from the basement. Emma's car pulled into the driveway, back from her evening class, the sounds of her full life echoing through every room. But here, in the laundry room, with warm clothes in her arms and the quiet hum of machines settling into sleep, Linda felt it most clearly, the weight and the gift of being the person they came home to, the one who folded their clothes and their worries with the same gentle hands. She carried the laundry down the hall, distributing it to the proper rooms, and felt grateful for every single load she'd ever washed, for every conversation that had unfolded in that small space, for the ordinary magic of being needed and knowing exactly how to help. The house settled into its evening rhythm, warm and full and hers.